My name is Tony Balding, and this is La Gira de Costa from Bikepacking.com with a side trip to Nicaragua's Ometepe Island and San Juan del Sur. Here's a view of the overall tracks from Nicaragua and Costa Rica. This was a serious amount of riding. I did around 60 miles per day with around 3,000 feet of elevation gain. The heat, the wind is all really real, and take that into consideration as you plan your trip and your miles. Well, it started. Just like that, I was off. Very cold day in Denver, really cold. Coldest jetway ever. A little over 5 hours into the trip, I saw my first inland views of the Costa Rican terrain I'd be riding on. I got out of the airport, I made it to my tiniest hostel room ever, and went out on the streets to find my favorite food, street food, and I love pupusas, even though they're from El Salvador. I woke up the next morning, walked out and found a cute place to eat some breakfast with some café con leche, and quickly got to the business of putting my bike together. And then out for a test ride, and to my surprise, supposedly there are Colombian horses coming through. This will be interesting. So that is my hotel, and here are the horses. It just goes on and on and on. Spent the rest of the afternoon enjoying the differences between Denver and Costa Rica, and then got busy with the seriousness of heading off on the trip the next day. I did this ride on a Trek 1120 rigid frame with 3-inch tires. The 2.25 tires would have been fine as it was dry this time of year. Alright, so it is 6 o'clock and the party has started apparently, as I am just headed out of town. I'm so glad that they celebrated my leaving. Within minutes, I found a dirt road and was headed off on the adventure. Well, it looks like we're getting out of town. So far so good. The day started off pretty cool. I made the mistake of dipping both feet in the water on one of the first water crossings and paid for that most of the rest of the day. Then it became hot and humid and windy, but still really an awesome ride. Just a bit windy, like at the top of a 14er kind of windy. Early afternoon, I decided to get out of the heat, eat some pastries, get a couple of coffees maybe, and lay back on a picnic table bench and take a break. And then, well, I'm really glad I stopped to eat, because it decided to rain like sheets, and I just happened to be safely inside. Oh man, I'm glad I missed that. A little more rest and I was back at it. Heat, climbing, more water crossing, and then I was surprised by River Azul. So that actually is a blue river. That is super pretty. River Azul truly was the vista of the day. After some more climbing, I found some downhill, which was refreshing. The heat had subsided, and the day was pretty much done, except for more water crossings and another bridge or two. But for the most part, I was a happy soul. I had survived the travel, the packing, the unpacking, and there was day one in the books. That little green line represented 60 miles plus and 7,000 plus feet of climbing. Not planning forward, I scraped these pictures from the internet. However, I did enjoy the hot water, the cooler temperatures, and the spaghetti bolognese, and I was excited and looking forward to what would be 6 more days of hard riding.